Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Inner Strength for Entrepreneurs. This is the place where you get to learn how to have grit and resiliency and stay the course on your business building dreams. I'm Cassandra Von Worsley. I'm your mentor, your inner business badass coach, inner badass business coach. And I'm also the creator of the private Facebook community, Fire Your Inner Critic, Find Your Inner Badass, and finally, build your business. And on today's episode of Inner Strength for Entrepreneurs, I want to talk about a dirty little secret that every entrepreneur does at one time or another, and oftentimes too much of, and how do we nip that sucker in the bud? And that's complaining. So all of us complain at some point or another. All of us complain about the things that are going wrong and the things that aren't going right and why everything's taking so long and are we there yet? All of us at one point or another as we build our business or even think about building our businesses, we complain because we're focused on what isn't working in the current moment. Now, if you're a woo-woo person like me, you see the problem in complaining, because if you are focused on complaining, then you're actually focused on everything in your business that's not working rather than being focused on all the things that actually are working. So, how do you quit the complaining habit? Especially because it is a dirty little secret, especially because most of us do it on the inside. We don't do it on the outside. So while you may not complain to everybody and anybody who'll listen, although there are those types of people, you're probably doing some complaining in your head, probably all the time. When you wake up, oh, I'm so tired. When you get out of bed, oh, I gotta do this. We do complaining so subtly, and it is such a part of our lives in general that most of us don't even recognize when we're actually doing internal complaining. So let's talk about the nature of complaining and why this video is about how do you quit the complaining habit. Number one, complaining, it doesn't start as a habit. Complaining actually starts as an experience. You have to do something hard and you complain about it. You have to figure something out about your website and you complain about it. Typically complaining, it starts as an experience. And with repetition, as Don Miguel Ruiz said, repetition makes the master. Well, we become masters of complaining because with repetition, complaining then becomes a habit. Now, with time, and I mean over a long period of time, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 5 years, with time, it goes from being complaining as a habit to complaining as a way of being. And you know those people who all they ever do is bitch and moan. All they ever do is talk about what's not working in their lives. Even when you try to redirect them, like us coaches do when we use the positive reframe, you can't get these people to redirect because complaining for them after years of repeating it as a habit has become a way of being for them. Now, you don't want this to be you. If you're going to be successful in business, complaining cannot become a way of being. And it's really important, number one, to get clear on the fact that just because you don't complain to other people doesn't mean that you don't have the complaining habit. If you're doing it in your head, you've got the habit. So, internal and external complaining. How do we drop it like it's hot? How do we get rid of it? How do we quit this complaining habit? 3 things you can do. Number one, count your blessings, literally, especially when it's hard to do, especially when you don't see any blessings, especially when the very last thing you want to do on earth is count your blessings. Number one, count your blessings, literally. Like, 1, I'm glad I'm alive. 2, I'm glad I'm breathing. 3, I'm glad I have eyes to see. And then eventually, as you get 50 and beyond, I'm not even joking when I say 50 and beyond, you will start to go deeper with your gratitude. And then your gratitude will become appreciation, which is even deeper than that. And then you won't be focused on complaining anymore. You'll actually be focused on everything that is available to you and that is for you. So number one way to quit the complaining habit, count your blessings literally. Literally. Number 2, take immediate action on on something related to the area of the complaint. So, okay, you've got this area of complaint in your business. You're not making enough money. Instead of focusing on the not making enough money, ask yourself, what can I do about this situation? I can send an email out. I can build an email list. I can create a webinar. What can I do? And focus on the what you can do and take immediate is such a key word here, immediate action on it, like now, yesterday. So Second thing you can do to quit the complaining habit is take immediate action on your area of complaint, on one area of complaint, not 15. If you're complaining about 15 different things, you got too much in your head. Take immediate action on one area of complaint and ask yourself, what can I do about this right now? And get up and do that thing right now. Third and final thing I'm going to talk about, another way that you can quit the complaining habit. And this is by far the most powerful one that I found. Whenever you find yourself complaining and you're running that negative mental script, I want you to start to ask yourself a really important question. Is this a satisfying thought? It's a really simple question, but the answer is profound, because in order for you to get out of the complaining habit, you have to start to really make yourself think more satisfying thoughts. So when you find yourself, especially internally complaining, ask yourself, is what I'm thinking right now satisfying to me? Is it satisfying? Is it fulfilling? Is it meaningful? And if it is not a satisfying thought, drop it and pick up something totally unrelated to what you're complaining about that is satisfying, and sit there until you feel overall satisfied. And don't go back to the complaint. The whole thing about habits is you cannot eradicate a negative habit if you don't replace it with a positive one. So part of the replacing the complaining habit has to be about now thinking thoughts on a regular basis that satisfy you, that fulfill you, that bring you joy. That is the key to it. So again, how do you quit the complaining habit? Number one, count your blessings literally until you get to a better feeling place. Number two, take immediate action on one area of complaint. What can I do about this? And then number three, ask yourself, is this a satisfying thought? Is what I'm complaining about, bitching about, thinking about, is it satisfying? Because if it's not, you have the power to change that to something totally different. Even if it's on another topic, change the thought until you're thinking things that satisfy you. Because it's from the place of satisfaction that you're actually going to receive the inspiration and have the solutions to no longer deal with the complaint. So, what are you going to do today? Post a comment here. What are you going to do to quit the complaining habit? And if it's a way of being for you, what is your new way of being so that you're not living in a complaining state? And as always, join me in the private Facebook community, Fire Your Inner Critic, Find Your Inner Badass, and finally build your business. That is facebook.com/groups/Fire Your Inner Critic. And last thing, you know lots of people who complain. I know lots of people who complain. Share this video with 3 people in your life who you know could absolutely benefit. Either they themselves could benefit, or sharing it with complainers in their life, they could benefit. Share it with 3 people today. All right, I will see you on the next episode of Inner Strength for Entrepreneurs.